Yes. Welcome back to Convos with Kozel. I am your host, James Kozel, your favorite non-guru. Listen, man. Listen. Saying that this is my brother, my man's, my guy is an understatement to our relationship, man. I've known this dude for a long fucking time since we was growing up. So 10.
18, I'm on 20 years down there.
Woo, hey, man. But bro, like I said, any introduction that I can give this guy, wouldn't do him justice with all the things that he's accomplished. And quite frankly, bro, I'm appreciative of him coming on my platform and allowing, us to take a dive into his headspace, into all his accomplishments, because he don't brag about himself enough. And I'm gonna do it for him, man. So we got none other than Jay Black himself, Mr. Jabari Blackmond. Brother, welcome to the show, man.
What's up, brother, man? Appreciate you for having me on. As I was saying before the show, like, I just salute what you doing. I see the growth. And this is if people been following you, this is the evolution of Kozel Seal, the
For sure.
podcast is. So shout out to you. Appreciate you for having me on.
Thank you, brother. So my man's, for everybody who don't know you, go ahead and give a brief introduction about yourself.
I'm Jabari Blackman. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. Big Bengals fans. My boys, they kind of let me down right now, but big Bengals fans. I'm a creator. I have a video production company, and I'm just a person that's looking for peace. That's trying to find peace and just enjoy what I do with life. Like, just trying to be happy and grateful for the small things.
Yes, sir. And what's crazy, bro? You the most peaceful. If it's anybody that's found peace, because bro, what be crazy, bro? I think I found peace, and then I'd be like, no, Barry found peace, bro. He found it, boxed it up, and he's shipping it out to people. You know what I'm saying? So it's a couple of things that you mentioned, the video production company, as well as growing up in Cincinnati. So we're gonna dive into all of that. Let's start from the beginning and talk about how it was growing up in Cincinnati. Were you born there as well?
Yeah, I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. I grew up in the city. I grew up in Winton Place. Winton Place is a little area. I kind of moved around though, but Winton Place is where I kind of was outside and kind of grew up a little bit. Uh, Went to high school. I went to LaSalle High School my first 2 years, which is an all boys school. Went there, wanting to play sports, and it just ain't work out. And I ended up transferring to Coleraine High School where I graduated from. Played sports there, ran track there, and moved to Ohio State, man. Moved to
Yeah.
Ohio State.
Yes, sir. So let's talk about before you got there. So we met in the Young Scholars Program, of course. You know what I'm saying? How did you get in? How were you introduced and get into YSP?
So Young Scholars, I actually got into that in sixth grade.
Mhm.
My sixth grade teacher, Miss Terrell, Miss Brenda Terrell, she recommended me for the program, and I didn't really understand the importance of it. So while I was in the program, I ended up getting in the program, and I don't know if you remember, but they used to have like those workshops and those monthly things you used to have to go to, and I never went because I'm like, man, I'm not going to this. Like, I'm not doing this. But I didn't understand the importance of it at the time. So I think Young Scott. I think the summer academy is what kind of changed, like, to made me be like, oh, I understand this, and this is something that I want to do. Just meeting friends, meeting everybody, and just being away and just getting that experience. It was a small college experience. It wasn't like the real college experience, but you got to, that was just a little bit of independency. Like, we by ourselves. We 14, 15 years old. Like, we outside of our parents' home. Like, so, uh, yeah, that was really what made me take Young Scholars serious and, see the value in it. And, it
So you
went from
said
there.
you said you didn't like going. You didn't go to none of the programs.
Nah, bro, at first, but like probably until like high school, like I would go or bro, I was like on probation. Like, I would go probably like once. And the crazy part, I was the only dude. I was the
Damn.
only dude, the only man in my city, in my whole group. So I would go to like probably one meeting, and then I wouldn't go. But they worked with me. And I think Mr. Jack Henderson, he was I forgot what the lead was called, but he was our leading guy.
Mhm.
He believed in me, I guess, and he continued to kind of push me to work with the program, come to the program, be involved with the program, and it paid off. It paid off.
That's what's up. Shout out to you said Mr. Jack Henderson.
Yeah, he was our the guy, the lead guy that when we would come to Columbus, he would be the one that's over all that. So yeah, shout out
Hey,
to him.
yeah, shout out to him because as black men, we be like, man, I don't give a fuck about none of that. But you need
And that's
another
what it
black.
was.
Yeah,
That
bro.
was that mindset. That was the mindset. And just from where I come from, that was kind of the mindset. And like I said, I just didn't understand the importance of college,
Mm-hmm.
of that program. Like that was a full ride to one of the top schools in the world. You feel me?
Yeah,
The top schools, like, it's putting you in position. Like people are paying, what was $60,000 a year for this school,
yeah.
and they giving you the opportunity. So again, just being where I'm at now, like I understand the importance of it. Like it was important in my journey.
Good man. Good. Hey, listen. I think it's the same story for all of us because I didn't understand the importance of it either, man. So,
Yeah.
so let's talk about all the programs aside because we all had to do a whole bunch. I had to go to all of them, bro, because I was so scared they was gonna kick me out, and my mom was not going, bro. Shout out to my. So, let's fast forward to summer academy because we had to go 3 times. The first year was 2 weeks. Second year was 2 weeks. Last year was
Was a
four
month.
weeks. How was
Yeah.
let's talk about the first year and then we'll talk about that last one. So how was it, going to, meeting all these different other inner city kids from these different cities and trying to commingle and coexist with a bunch of arrogant N words?
Nah, it was cool because with guys, like, we bond over sports.
Yeah.
So we get the hooping, talking shit, and now you building friendships. Like, so it's cool. Like, it was easy. Like, it was cool. And at home, it wasn't like I was in the house. Like, I used to be outside making friends at home, like in Cincinnati. So it's like, bam, you just outside making friends. And, yeah, it was cool. Building bonds, and again, seeing, even though we in Ohio, you still see different cultures, different ways of living. Like, I'm from South Ohio. I'm coming all the way up north. You from Lorraine. It's a whole different type, small town. It's a whole different type of vibe. Like, and what it was one of them years. Was it the last year? Me and you, we stayed in the same dorm
Yeah, we was roommates. Yeah,
for
yeah.
the 4 weeks. Yeah, like, but just that experience again. You outside of your house, your household of the values that you didn't took for them, or you didn't learn them 14 to 15 years. Now you putting them to use, like you putting them survival skills to use. So I enjoyed it, man. It was fun. It
You
was
enjoyed
fun.
all the years?
Yeah,
What,
I
what,
enjoyed it. I had fun, but at the end, I was ready to go back home. I was, but it was cool. Like, it was cool them 2 weeks, but it's like, man, all right, I'm ready to go back home now.
like, all right, are we done? Are we
Hey,
done?
people crying, We live. I'm like, nah. Hey, I'll have fun with y'all, but I'm ready to go back home.
Yeah, bro. After week one, I'm like, all right, man, are we done here? They're like, oh man, I don't want
Yeah,
to leave. I do.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Which year would you say was your favorite year? That last year we was there for a month, so niggas really had to bond together.
I mean, I don't know if I can say a favorite year because I had a good time at all of them. The favorite year probably would be the first year
Mhm.
because it was just, I don't know, it was lit, like it
Yeah,
was lit. The
it
first,
was new.
and again, exactly, it was a new experience, and that set the bar. That's it. But it was cool. It was cool. I like the first one. I think I would pick the first one if I had to pick.
Bet, bet. So with that, do you think that YSP Summer Academy helped with your transition to going to Ohio State, where it's 50,000 plus students, all these smart kids, some dumb people too, but then it's
Mhm.
like it's not so many people like us there.
It definitely helped me. It definitely helped me, especially now that I understand the power of networking.
Yeah,
Like, when we started school, most freshmen, they coming in, they not knowing too many people. They meeting people at orientation. We came in with a network of 100 plus people from
yeah,
all over the state, not even just from our hometown. So we got people from all over the state. And then, my first year, I came into college on probation from Young Scholars.
mm,
So I had to go to Newark my first year. It was a few people from Young Scholars in Newark, but again, I didn't come to the main campus my freshman year. I came my sophomore year. But when I came my sophomore year, the transition was so easy, it wasn't overwhelming because I had knew so many people already. And
mm,
they was able to tell me or show me what's going on, or just people that just give you comfort. Like that's a whole different beast. That's a whole different beast. So that's why I appreciate Young Scholars. I feel like in that aspect, the networking aspect, I feel like I think it was helpful. Now on campus, I think it probably could have been a little bit more interactive on campus. I don't think it was. I may have missed that too, but I don't think it was as interactive on campus as I wish it would have been. But yeah, that's huh?
So when you say that, what do you wish they would have did differently while we were on campus?
I'm saying it now from my viewpoint now, but just like how we were when we was in high school, we had these mandatory events and just to keep us together,
Yeah,
just to kind of keep that going. Like, but I know it's kind of hard because people on different schedules is, I guess they wanted to treat us like adults, but I don't know. I feel like they should have still been involved a little bit more while we were in school.
I agree with you on that. With the different schedules though, and to play devil's advocate a little bit, they probably would have had to schedule something on like a Sunday. And would you have gone?
At that time, no. But I'm saying, like, even at that time, like, it might
Me
have,
either. So it's
yeah,
like,
like,
I mean,
yeah. So
I
it's
get it,
like,
but it's tough, man. I got my thoughts on YSP. So like, so what is one thing that you wish you would have known that you know now that you wish you would have knew in college besides the network aspect being so important? What's another thing that you're like, damn, I wish I would have knew this. This would have helped me in college more.
I wish I wish I was a little bit more financially literate
Mm-hmm.
because again, we getting these scholarships, we was getting school checks, and I was doing I was taking care of my business. I just wasn't saving. Like, my bills was taken care of. I was paying my bills months at a time. Like, so, I had jobs too. Like, I was working. I had money coming in, but I wasn't saving. It was just coming in, coming out, coming in, going out, coming in, going out. So, I think I wish I was a little bit more financially literate at that time to be able to invest that money into something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it probably would have just really kind of sped up my progress just in life. But everything happened for a reason, so I'm not, mad about it. But if I look back and if it was something I wanted to learn that I learned at this point, that's what it would have been.
For sure. So do you think so? You would say, would you say YSP was beneficial for you personally?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I feel like it helped. It was a important piece in my journey to get me where I'm at now.
For sure.
So it may not be the biggest, but I feel like it played a major role. It played a role in getting me to where I am now in my experience in life.
Hey, you remember? Was it the last year? I think it was the last year. It was me, you, and Mariah. We was in that the class with the chick. I forgot what the class was. But remember, we was like, yo, if we don't make it in the O State, we going to Cincinnati. We going to UC.
I do remember something like that.
And bro, because I didn't think I was gonna make it, bro. I had like a 17 on the ACT. I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah, yeah, mine won that. And bro, honestly, bro, I applied for two schools.
Yeah.
I applied for the Ohio State University and USC because Reggie Bush was going there and they was cold in football. But it was Ohio State or nothing for real, for real. Like, yeah, it was Ohio State. But I always loved Ohio State. Growing up playing football, little league. Watching them on TV. Like, it's always about sports. It was always on the sports side. So I really didn't want to go nowhere else but Ohio State, to be honest.
Legit. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. So let's transition into how things are going now because I remember, after everybody graduated, everybody kind of started doing their own thing, and I remember back when I was staying in Columbus, you had came up one time. This was after you moved to Atlanta, and you told me a story of why you just got up and just bounced. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So like after post college, how many years did you stay in Columbus?
I was in Columbus, so if you want to count Newark, I was there for 4 years. I was in that
Okay.
area for 4 years.
And then after college, you was like, all right, I'm over this. I'm moving. And you went to Florida to get your
Mm-hmm.
master's degree. So kind
Mm-hmm.
of talk about what was going on with you mentally that last year in Columbus that you was like, you know what, this ain't really working for me. I need to go somewhere else to pursue these aspirations of mine.
Man, so I graduated in December of 2013,
Mm.
and I end up leaving in September of 14. But I'm getting off. I end up getting a job at a hotel. You know, we went to school. My undergrad was hospitality management, so I had a front desk job at a hotel. I'm working second shift, full time, all that. So I'm going to work, coming home. It just started getting routine. I
Mm.
go to work, get out work, give me something to drink, go home, kick the, it was the same routine. And I'm like, bro, I'm only 20. I was about 22, 23. I said, bro, I'm too young for it just to be like this right now. Like, so I started looking into wanting to get on the radio. I started, going to I literally was like in Columbus, hitting all the radio stations, trying to go and talk to them and get on the radio or whatever. So this girl I worked with, I think her name was Elaine. She connected me with a guy, and she was like, he has his own company, he does party, he does radio. Or it was something along those lines in that field. So I went to go meet with this guy, and I think he threw bar mitzvah. He was throwing parties or kid
Mhm.
parties or something. And he was basically, it was like an interview or a conversation set, and then he was like, yeah, I would he said, I'm just looking for somebody that kind of, host a party, play with the kids, just da da da. And I'm looking at him, and he was like, I said, yeah, I don't think that's gonna be me. He was like, yeah, I don't need the honestly. Hey, so but at that moment, like he was like, man, I would recommend. He recommended Full Sail to me. So this was probably like April. So he recommended Full Sail. So I started doing my research. I started doing my research on Full Sail, and I'm like, man, you know what? This might be it.
Mhm.
So our Full Sail was in Winter Park, right outside Orlando.
Yep.
So I think July come. I end up just getting on a flight and going on a tour. I went by myself, like just on the tour to school. I just told my mom like, I'm about to go to Orlando, probably check out. Like she ain't even really got nothing too much information. I ain't telling her I'm really going to go get in school for real. So I go down there, go through the tour, and it's like a production school. I won't say a movie school, but it's a production school. So they got all the glitz and glamours. I'm
Mhm.
talking about they go through the tour. It basically sold me. Like they sold me on the tour. I'm talking about, bro. I didn't even leave Florida. I'm filling out the application, the financial aid, all that. Like so. So that was July. I end up getting in. They had a class starting at the end of September.
Mm.
End up moving down there in September, and literally, bro, the first week of being down there, because it was like my thing was like I didn't care about the degree. It was just
Yeah.
about getting around. That's when I started understanding the power of your network. So
Mm.
getting around the right people, like that was my whole reason for going to that school. And then I went to school for business because it's like, man, all this creative stuff I can learn. Like the business side, when you hear stories, like people always say the business was messed up or they didn't have their business right. So I
Mhm.
wanted to get ahead of that. Man, let me learn the business. And the principles of business is pretty much the same in all industries. It might be a little different, but basically profit and loss and all that's all the same in most industries.
Yeah.
So I went down there, but like literally the second week I was down there, first or second week I was down there, I end up getting on. That's when I got on with Revolt
Mhm.
TV, the Revolt Music Conference. I went down there the first year as like a volunteer, worked the event down there for the whole week, worked the event and built that relationship.
Mhm.
But, going down there was just more so just I won't say prove to myself, but again, just I feel like I wanted something different in life. And this is what I wanted to be around. Like, I ain't really need nobody validation. That was another reason I ain't really tell nobody about going down there because it's like, man, you gonna go down there and spend all that money and it costs this much to do this. And man, people don't believe in them dreams a lot of the times, like when you get to a certain age. And it was like, man, I gotta do this for myself.
Yeah.
I feel like I went to undergrad for my mom, my family, and all that, but the 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 graduate school was more for myself.
Mm. That's deep. That's deep. And you've always been a person that's about execution. That's why I got a high level of respect and regard for you because you're like, yo, I'm about to do it. And then
Mm-hmm.
it's not like you wouldn't tell anybody, but it was like if you did tell somebody, you didn't give a fuck what their response was. Like,
I
yo, I'm
mean,
out
I
of
wouldn't
here.
say that. I wouldn't say that because I do listen. Like, it's not that I don't take in what people say. I do listen and I consider everything, but at the same time, I know how I feel. Like, you know, I understand like the risks involved in certain things, and especially somebody that have been through it. I'm not gonna just discredit what they say. Like, I'm never that person. Like, I listen to what people say, but at the end of the day, I make my final decision. I
Yeah,
evaluate it and make my final decision. Like, I try not to be spontaneous with big decisions like that. Like, I think it over. Like, I'm a thinker. I think it over. So yeah, like I listen to the input. I listen to people's input. Like, and I just I go with what works for me.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's move into Innovative Black as a radio station. 'Cause I remember you texted me. You was like, "Yo, check out my website." I'm like, "Oh, 100%, bro." I get on that motherfucker. I'm like, "Oh shit, Innovative Black is music playing." I put a comment on there. I heard you say, "Shout out to
Mm-hmm.
James." I'm like, "Yeah, motherfucker, yeah."
Yeah,
So was
yeah.
this after you did the Revolt TV kind of deal, or did it kind of just happen organically?
So this was the idea was already. So it was a website I had found. This was when I was still living in Columbus. This was before I even moved to Florida. I found a website to where you can basically make a playlist that runs 24 hours a day, like, and it's like a live radio station. And so this was 2014. The idea, probably like August 2014, the idea came about, and I kind of honed it like down in Florida because again, I went for entertainment business, and each class was basically about building a business. So while I'm building it, I'm doing my class, I'm applying everything I'm learning in real time. So I was putting my ideas together, kind of getting my branding together behind the scene before I officially launched. And March 2015, I ended up launching it, and it started off as a weekly radio station, and it grew to what it is today, to a video production company. Man, I just saw the possibilities. Like, it was so many possibilities. And it's not stressful at all. It ain't nothing that's like mentally draining to me. Like, it's I enjoy doing it. I enjoy
Yeah,
doing it, so that's why it continues to grow. Like, and it's been continuing to grow because of it's easy. Like, it's the possibilities are endless with it. So, but yeah, it started in 2015.
nice. And then so boom. So now, Innovative Black starts off as a radio station on a website. Now you're in Atlanta now, and then it transcends to this production company. So kind of talk about what made you move to Atlanta, how it was living there the first couple years, and then how you continued to grow the platform while being in a completely new area.
So I moved to Atlanta. It wasn't my first option, but
Mhm.
I had a little cousin. My cousin Randall, he was living down here. Well, he was living up here, and he gave me somewhere to stay. He gave me, he said I can stay in the living room, sleep on the couch. I had my air mattress, so I stayed with him. Yeah, but that was the biggest thing. Like, it was easier to transition to Atlanta. I wanted to go to the LAs and the New York, but I didn't have nobody that I can, stay with until I get on my feet, or. So Atlanta was the easiest transition, and it was just so much going on here, and too, it was closer to home. Like, it wasn't too far from home. If I need to go home, Atlanta is 7 hours, 6.5, 7 hours from Cincinnati, straight shot. So if I need to get on the road, I can go home, or if my family need to come, and that was important too. And, I got here first 2 3 months, didn't have a job, trying to find a job and frustrated. I feel like I got all this knowledge and degrees and all that, and I feel like, I mean, honestly, I felt like I'm qualified to get a job. It shouldn't be hard to get a job, but that was something that I learned too. That a degree is it ain't the key. It's not the key. It's not the key. Like, and I
Yeah.
had that mindset that a degree was the key, but it wasn't. But about 2 3 months, end up getting a job finally, working at hotels again. I did put my hospitality degree to use. And Atlanta is a big tourism city, so it's a lot of hotels, a lot of traffic. So I had 2 hotel jobs for a while, and I think for about 9 months, and then it got to a point where I'm still working Innovative Black, and I'm outside still. So I was like, man, this stuff going on. I'm missing it because of work. So I'm like, man, I'm about to just quit one of these jobs. So I ended up
Yeah.
quitting one of the jobs, and it was hard. It was a struggle, but I had my vision. As soon as I quit one of the jobs, I met DJ Samore, and DJ Samore was one of my first shows outside of me. Like I used to do interviews, but DJ Samore was my first show outside of me. So I met her. She had a plan. I had a plan, and we put it together, and we created her show. We did 75 episodes, so it was about 2-3 years worth of content. We had a good run, and when I did the doing DJ Samore show, it opened my eyes to the possibility. And that's why I took myself off of camera. Like I went behind the scenes because I'm like, man, this can be bigger if I take myself out of it. And I took myself out of it, spent more time just on the editing, on the post production side, and kind of making it, shaping it how I wanted to be. And bam, I started taking my ideas and creating shows out of that. I always wanted to do a news show. So I created Connecting the Dots. Me and Kim, we came together, put an idea, we made Connecting the Dots. Uh, Black owned is about black entrepreneurship. My thing for creating that is I will always hear people say, they would complain and say, we don't support black people, we don't support black business. When I feel like that's a lie, but okay. Then when you say why you don't support it, then why don't you support it? Was I can't find these black businesses. So I'm like, all right, something went off in my head. Like, all right, let me create a visual directory. Let me just put it in your face. Like, let me find these businesses and show you, like, okay, this is a black, if you're looking for this, it's a black business for this. Kind of meeting people halfway. Like, so that's where Black On came about. And like I say, it's just with being behind the scenes, I'm able to I guess stretch or get my ideas out there in many different ways. I don't have to be the face. I don't need to be the face. Like I can get my idea out there in creative ways. So yeah, and that's what it's grew to today, and it's continuing to grow. Like I'm continuing to add shows. Uh, Again, I've been talking about this because I'm excited about this show. It's a cooking show we got in the works. Morgan, a girl I grew up with named Morgan. We came up with the idea to do a cooking show. So right before the pandemic, she she had hit me, about doing some photography for her. She was like, man, I want to do a cookbook, but I need somebody to take the picture. So, it took us about 2 months. We shot the cookbook. She would cook and I'd come over and take pictures of the book. But I mean of the food. And as we over there, we kind of just, just build and putting ideas, throwing ideas. And I don't know if I mentioned it to her or she said it, but I'm like, man, we should make a show out of this. Like we should kind of make a competition or something like that. I don't remember who idea it was, but I remember us talking about, putting it on video. And she was like, yeah, I like that idea. So I think about probably like almost a year later or about 10 months later, she ended up hitting me like, all right, I want to do it like this. And we came up with the cooking competition. And the thing I like about that, like, is just, again, it's showing people how to cook. It's for amateur cooks. So basically we bring on two amateur cooks. Morgan, sometimes she would take a recipe from her book, or she'd just have a random recipe and they got 15 minutes to make the dish. And at the end, the judge, they try, they critique it, and they pick a winner. Like, so, again, it's just dope. It's fun. Like, it's getting fun at this point, you know. And like I say, it's continuing to grow. I got some other shows in the works. I got just other way. I got a lot of things I want to do. A lot of things I want to do.
So how many shows you think you have under your umbrella of Innovative Black?
And like since the
Because you got
beginning or at this.
because you got shows in the video format, you got podcasts too, and then you're going around and you're still like filming like events and things like that. So it's a lot under that umbrella,
Yeah, it's a
man.
lot going on. Yeah, it's a lot going on. Like current shows, the only current show that I have right now is that's live is Black On. Black
Mhm.
On is the current show, and like I say, Beyond the Plate is the cooking show. That's coming soon. It ain't live yet. I'm still finishing up the editing, but right now I got one show that's actually active. Connecting the Dots. We ended earlier this year, but so that was one of my last live shows, or active shows. But yeah, Black Owned is my flagship show at the moment.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So what would you say, like, because you're killing it now, brother? Obviously, I got to give you your flowers, man. You're killing it. What would you say your future plans are for Innovative Black as a production company?
I think I got to get better at this myself, but I got to start presenting it as more of a production company. Like, when I say that, I mean like as a company that's I don't want to say welcoming clients, because a lot of my clients, they come from word of mouth, and
Mm,
I don't really advertise my services like I should. But at the same time, it's like the clients I got, they're enough. You feel me? I don't
yeah.
want to put too much on my plate and lower my quality. So right now I'm at the point of I'm looking to scale the business, get more like editors on the team and camera people on the team, because I get calls all the time. People rely on me when it comes to video. So they had called me like, are you able to make this? And my schedule been filling up, so it's like I'm not able to make it. But they ask like, well, do you know somebody else? So I've been getting a lot of them calls. So possibly I wouldn't say a staffing agency, but just being that place where people can call, they can go to when they need video production.
Mm,
They can call Innovative Black, and I can provide you with that service, whether it's through me or through somebody in my company.
that's dope. That's dope as hell, man. A man that's always thinking ahead is a man that needs to be respected. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So before we wrap it up here, man, I got one question for you, bro. I got 10 random questions. Okay. You
Mm-hmm.
give me a number, I tell you the question. I need you to be as open and transparent as you can when you answer it and then tie a message to it as well. So let me get a number, brother.
I'm gonna do number one.
Number one. All right. So you ready?
Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. What is your biggest regret in life?
My biggest regret in life. My biggest regret. Uh, that's kind of hard because I kind of try to learn from everything.
Mhm.
And we can say regret and lesson. My biggest lesson is that's tough. That's tough to think of on the fly.
On the fly, yeah, man. If I could ask a follow up that'll kind of help an answer come out, what is it that you would tell a younger you?
I think I would tell a younger me to don't be hard on yourself, be patient, and the biggest thing is just enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Like I didn't got to that point. Like I didn't got to the point where I just appreciate the small stuff. Like I appreciate the small stuff, but just enjoy the journey. Like man, it was a point where I feel like I'm doing so much work, and it's like man, why it ain't happening like I want to? But it's like, man, I learned valuable lessons in that time and the time in between while it wasn't happening. It was like, oh, I had to learn this. You had to learn this. So just enjoy the journey, appreciate everything, and don't look at just look at everything as a lesson. Everything is a lesson.
Where I received that message too, man. That's been kind of like the focal point of my years being in Florida, man. It's like the journey. You're like, God damn, man. Like, what am I doing? It feel like you on that hamster wheel, just running and nothing's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
All you seeing is the wheel. Like if you step off the wheel, you be like, damn, it's food in here now. It's water in here. You
Mm-hmm,
know what I'm saying? Like they petting
mm-hmm,
me every hour. You feel what I'm saying? So
mm-hmm.
it's small stuff coming together, but gratitude is definitely the key to peace, man. Hey, once again, my man Jabari, bro, you already know I appreciate you for coming through with
Salute,
your man.
brother. Appreciate you,
Tell the
bro.
people.
Appreciate you.
You said say what?
Nah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for having me on, man. Like I say, I love what you're doing with your platform, dog. Like, I love what you're doing with it. Like, I see the growth. I see the growth. Again, this is the elevation of Cozell Seal. Like, telling people stories. That was the whole premise of that. Telling people stories, and you doing the same thing now. Like, so I think this lane is meant for you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. And that shows how long we've known each other, bro. That was
Rocking.
when you went to Florida. Cozell
I
still
was in
came up.
Florida, yeah, yeah, and it was just it wasn't no audio, it was like all blogging, like
It was
typed out,
blogging.
wasn't it? Yeah, yeah, that's hard.
Now they get to now they get to hear my cool voice. But my man, tell the people where they can find you, brother.
My website, www.innovativeblackstation.com. You can follow me on social at Jabari Blackmond. My first and last name, all one word, and at Innovative Black Station. At Innovative Black Station, that's where you can find you know all of our content. The video production company, Shop Black On Biz. That's the Instagram for Black On for the show Black On. And just stay in tune, man. We growing, and we got some things coming.
Yes, sir. Do you still sell the merch? You still sell the
Uh,
t-shirts?
uh, I still got merch. I got some. I try to do. I try to keep it fresh. I do the
Yeah.
t-shirts. I'm thinking about doing the black t-shirts again. I got the hoodies. I got the fur hoodies with the embroidered innovative black. I got them coming again for the fall. Uh, and that's it right now. That's it right now. That's all the merch I got right now.
Yes, sir. Let me know when them hoodies come out. I'll get one of them, man.
They
I
don't.
need one.
They really pre-ordered. Like they just. I'm only selling them as people. As people order them. Like I'm not doing it in bulk. You gotta want it, and a lot of them gonna be one-on-ones. Like it's some one-on-ones out there. I'm probably only gonna do like 20 hoodies. After I'm done do them 20 hoodies, we gonna move to the next one. So
Never
whoever,
again.
never again, like never again. That the color, I had the color shirts. I ain't doing the color shirts again. Like
I still got my red one.
you might that's gonna be the last one.
Oh no.
Hey, it's gonna show you an OG. You been rocking with Innovative Black.
Bro, 20 years from now, when Innovative Black go public on the stock exchange, I'm
Yeah,
gonna have a red shirt. They gonna be like, "What the
for
fuck?"
sure,
Yeah, bro, vintage.
for sure, for sure, for sure.
All right, brother, man. I appreciate you, bro. And next time we come on, it's gonna be a little bit more lighter, but we gotta introduce the people to the man, the myth, the legend known as Jabari Blackmond, brother. You already know I love you, brother, and I appreciate you, my man.
You too, brother. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.